All right, well, I'm here today at Tesla of Springfield, New Jersey, which actually happens to be where I picked up both my Model 3 and Model Y. But today I'm here to check out the Model X. With all of the price drops recently, it is now eligible for the $7,500 federal tax credit, plus there's some other incentives here in New Jersey that help. And so I think that this is all of a sudden become a very reasonable and affordable option for somebody looking for a slightly bigger electric SUV. So come along with me, we're going to check it out, and let's drive.
Let's ride.
All right, so if this is your first time here at the channel, and I've noticed that something like 95% of you who are finding these videos now, and thank you for that, still are not subscribed. So make sure you do so you don't miss any of this. All right, let's go check this out now for our little drive. It's pretty crazy just how much business they're doing here and how popular Teslas are becoming now. When I picked my car up, I was able to, I was like one of maybe like 6 cars here that were in this line for, I guess, service and delivery. And I was able to park up there in the front. Now, can't even find a spot back here in this back lot, which looks like it's all for service, to park across the street over there. But just massive popularity here and a lot of growth here. And it's a sort of the end of the day on a Friday, so pretty busy for sure. So it looks like they're doing quite a few deliveries today. All right, well, here's the Model X, and you can see the awesome Falcon Wing doors, but here it is in the 6-seat configuration, which is an extra $6,000, which takes us over the $80,000 limit for the federal tax incentive. So if you're looking for this option, you're not going to get that little bonus from the tax incentive, but still lots of room for what is not a very huge car, and a great option if you've got a family of this size. And this one is the Plaid version, so you're actually paying for that update to the Plaid version, but they all come in a 6-seat configuration, so there's no extra increase here for the 6-seat option. So if you're looking at the 6-seat option, it almost makes sense to go directly for the Plaid because you're paying, here, let's look at the sticker here, but you pay an extra $23,500, but you're getting all that extra performance and everything, and you're saving the extra $6,000 off of the seating option. So why not, right? So just checking out the back seat here, and I think this is pretty cool. You've got a little button here to move this seat forward and back to make it easier to get in and out. But interestingly, this back seat here, no latch things on here, so you got to use either the seatbelt attachment, or I'm sure there's a latch anchor point on the back of the seat, but not here in the seat itself, which is odd. And oh, but this seat does. So the second row here does have them. All right, here we go. We are in the Model X, and I'm 7 miles away from the steering wheel, but there we go. All right, so initial impressions in here, super nice. This is my first time ever actually in a Model X. It's the only model in Tesla's lineup that I've never been in before. So this is quite cool. Reminds me, I mean, it's kind of like an interesting blend between the Model Y, just, bigger version of the SUV. I mean, the X is obviously a bigger version of the Y. And a lot of like the more luxurious premium features that you get from the S. I like that this one's got the steering wheel and not the yoke. So the yoke is actually a $1,000 option for the X here. I would just stick with the steering wheel, to be honest. I really don't see the point in the yoke, and I think it's just a weird thing to get used to and causes more problems than it's worth. But if you're into that, you can get that for $1,000. Although that, I think because that's an accessory, it doesn't make a difference, but you should check that before you count on the federal tax incentive, because that $1,000 is just enough to take it, the price of the car over $80,000, which means that you're not eligible. But yeah, because this also does not have any of the stocks for the gear shift or turn signals. So to shift into gear here, we just do it up on the screen. And steering, what do I say? The turn signals are on the steering wheel here, which again, I don't love. I'm not really sure why that's necessary. What that's actually helping with is probably saving them, I don't know, few cents to $1 maybe on parts, and I just think, I don't know, why change something that works. I get like the shift here from ICE cars to EVs is an opportunity to rethink things, get rid of unnecessary things and things that add cost for no reason. But to me, the steering wheel stock, the turn signal stock, is not one of those. So we're not really sure why they got rid of that. But I'm sure you get used to this after a while. Even when I drove the Model S Plaid, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll try to link that down in the description, but you can find it here on the channel too. I drove that through Death Valley, which was really cool. After a couple of hours there, basically, I got totally used to it. But this is really cool. The suspension is automatically raising here to take me over some of these speed bumps and stuff, I guess. Well, we'll play with the settings for that a little bit in a minute. But yeah, I mean, I can just tell like the ride quality on this is leaps and bounds above the Model Y. So now, yeah, raising to go probably over like these potholes here. But yeah, one big benefit here over the Y, other than just the space, for sure, is some of these more premium features like the adaptive air suspension, and these seats are so much more comfortable. I honestly can tell. I've never had a problem with the seats in the Y or the 3, but this is way more comfortable. This hugs me a lot more. And then the coolest thing here is not only do we have heated seats, but we also have cooled seats. So let's test that out. It's not like the hottest day, but it's a little bit toasty here. Let's say, oh, that's pretty immediate. Yeah, that's nice. Woo! I'm not going to get too into that, but that feels good on the old undercarriage here. So that's cool. And then another nice kind of upgrade here over like the Y is we have the. See, I'm already like looking for the turn signal stock here instead of hitting the button. But yeah, we've got this extra screen here in the right in front of the steering wheel, kind of in the like where the gauge cluster would be. That shows me like all of the stuff for autopilot, so where other cars are, and the lanes and everything, and my state of charge, temperature. You also need like error messages and stuff, that I'm in drive, the speed limit, all of those things nicely. So like basically what would always be here on kind of the left side of the screen in like the Model 3 and the Y is pushed over here into this bigger screen. So that is pretty cool. Schmaltz European provisions. That looks interesting. And then that also frees up some space here. So like the map itself is quite a bit bigger than what you kind of get on the screen in the 3 and the Y. And that allows more space over here for like the media stuff. So I can see that a lot better. And speaking of media, the sound system in here is even better than it is in the Y. We've got some additional speakers, and even better, you have active noise cancellation in here. So it is just dead silent in here. I'm only going 50 miles an hour, but compared to let's go in here for it. Compared to the Y, just so much less noise coming in here from the outside. Again, I don't think the Y is like a particularly noisy car. It gets a little bit rowdy on the highway. Like, get a lot of tire noise, I find, more than like the wind noise. But this just much quieter, and because of that, it makes it feel like it's a little bit better put together. Steering in this is really awesome. This feels maybe similar, not like too dissimilar from the Y, but even a little bit more connected to the road, maybe. More power kind of in here, so like I really don't have to turn the wheel or put like nearly as much effort into this wheel to get the whole thing turning. And interested in that, it seems almost like this has a bit tighter turning radius than my Y. My Y's got like a really surprisingly horrible turning radius, I found. Like always having to do Austin Powers turns to get around. But yeah, so let me take a look kind of around the inside here for a second while we've got a nice parking spot here. All right, so yeah, so I'm in stop. We have auto hold on, which is great. So I would probably just like basically never put this in park and just let it take care of itself, but I can push park here on the screen, a long press, and that'll put me into park. And then, this is cool, so I can control the Falcon Wing doors here. Why don't we just open everything and check this out. All right, another really cool feature here in the door. Got like automatic soft kind kind of closed doors, and then when I push the button here, it actually pushes the door open for me. How cool is that? And then if I push the brake, it closes it. That's a really cool feature. I love that part of it. All right, so obviously one of the most attention-grabbing features here is these falcon wing doors, which are a little bit controversial, I guess, or maybe not necessarily for everyone. They're a little bit showy, but I think they're super cool, and they are a good way to get people in and out even more easily. So let's check out kind of the space that we have here. So I've got the seat back where I was comfortable driving, and a ton of passenger space here. I got probably, I guess that's maybe like 6-7 inches of knee room here. But I think the seat is also like tilted back, laying down a little bit more than I would probably normally have it. So I might, get a little extra space there. This is the 7-seat variant. So the cool thing here is like we can kind of see what the 5-seat would look like, which is basically, the front 2 seats plus just this row. So the very base one, to be under that $80,000, you would basically just get this row here with these 3 seats kind of in a bench here. And yeah, I mean, these back seats, not the most comfortable. They're nowhere near as close to comfortable as the front ones here. But I'd say more comfortable than the back seats in the Y for sure. So yeah, probably like between the comfort level of those and then like the front seats in the Y, if that gives an idea. I'm not sure I'd want to be like here for hours in a long road trip, but it's really not bad. And, I've got adequate space here and everything. Let's see, actually, let's close this door down. just kind of freak you out that it's going to chop your head off, but you've got this like window carve out here, so there's actually a ton of headspace here above me, so it's not that freaky. But yeah, interesting thing, like in the front seat here, you've got all of this massive windshield. They say it's the biggest production windshield that's made, I guess at least until maybe the Cybertruck comes out. Then like back here, it's actually a little bit more closed off because you have like this beam here, so you have less kind of like direct upward view in here than you do like in the back seat of the Y. So that's a little bit odd, but yeah, I mean, not bad seats. Like they are this perforated cloth material. You have heated seats back here, but no cooled ones. And then interestingly, like this middle seat doesn't look like you can actually. Oh wait, I guess that's here. So we can do. Okay, just checking. Yeah, so we can do all 5 of these back seats from here. I don't know what that. Oh, we can even move. Is that to move? Oh, I can move the seat here forward and back to make it easier to get in and out, I guess. We got USB-C plugs here, so 2 of those. I think this is our cup holders. Stuck. Okay, don't know what's going on there. And even I don't know. This is a demo one, so I'm sure it gets kicked around a lot and stuff. So I don't want to read too much into that, but. Even here in a $80,000 car, one that was closer to $100,000 before, you've got Tesla build quality notes for sure. So yeah, so this is the 7-seat variety. As I showed in that plaid one before, there's also the 6-seat, which has like captain's chairs for here in the second row. And then why don't we check out this 3rd row as well and see if we can actually fit a human being back there. That's noisy. All right. So how do we get back here? So okay, so we got like a little button here that just pops that forward, and then what? Okay, and then I push it again, I guess, so I can fold flat like that. And then how do I actually get back here for this thing? Where is it? Here. This one. Oh, okay, that's hard to pull. All right, so with this pulled forward now to actually allow some leg space in the back, this gets a lot tighter. Oh yeah, now I have to do the straddle here to actually fit. So not the biggest, the most passenger space for sure in here. So let's see, now I'll push that to fold it. And this is still going to be a complicated procedure to get in here. So yeah, I gotta, okay. Or at least you can push it forward, but I'm not sure I'm going to be actually able to close this to get myself in here. I'm going to get myself locked in here and not be able to return this car. At least they can find me. All right, so let's see. We'll do this part here. So, okay. There's my feet basically getting cut off. And with that down, all right. Some room back here. I've got the trunk open, which helps a little bit. But yeah, this is a little bit like a prison cell for me. So you can see here my head basically goes right to the top of this headliner here. I think with the trunk closed, my head would be touching for sure. And this is with this back row pushed all the way forward. This is how much space I have, which is nada. So I would not want to be back here for very long. Plus, there's no, I'm basically going to be staring into this headliner here. There's no window or anything. Okay, so that's an option, but basically you're going to want to stick your smallest and probably most irritating of your children back here that you don't want to hear or see. Definitely not your friends. But you do have 2 more USB-C ports back here and cup holders in the center. Interesting that you can have them offset from each other, so that's kind of cool. All right, and now coming around back here, all right, we've got our charging port door, kind of slides open like that. And of course the Tesla NACS plug, which is probably the biggest advantage of this over basically any other EV SUV that you can get right now. Just being able to rely on Tesla's supercharging network is a huge advantage. And even though other manufacturers will be switching to it over the next 2 years, this is the only one that can currently use them. And even over the next year or so, the only one that you'll be able to do without an adapter. So huge advantage there still, and part of the reason we're even kind of considering this. All right, so taking a look now at the trunk here. So honestly, not the biggest trunk. This is smaller than the Y with these seats up for sure. If you put these down, how do you do that? Button. Interesting. This like one part is powered and the rest is not. So that's a decent amount. Like with these seats down, that goes back pretty far. You get some strollers and big suitcases and stuff in here. But I'm not sure about like a golf bag. You probably need to have that middle row pushed all the way forward like that to fit one. And then skis, you're basically looking at putting the both sets of seats down. A little bit weird that there's no like pass through there, so you're stuck putting like that whole section down, and then you're down to a 3-seater car essentially. Or I guess you could just put maybe this one part down, and then you have 3 seats here in the back. I don't know. Whatever. So then, yeah, really deep underfloor storage here. That's great to see, and you can get chased out of here by a lawnmower. So that concludes the storage space portion. All right, let's get everything closed back up. Oh, and here is the front trunk, in case that matters to you, if you're somebody who actually uses it. So lots of space here. Tesla's usually kind of the leader in this space, with the exception of like pickup trucks. But lots of good storage space here. This one's like felt lined, which is kind of nice. I guess the Model Y is too. But I mean, it really varies. Like, I think some people really care deeply about this. Other people never use this at all. We basically only ever use ours when we're doing like a grocery run and have a ton of stuff to pick up. Really not that often. All right, now, interesting, I was kind of wondering, like, if I just touch the brake, since it closes the front doors here, would it close like all of these other ones? And it does not appear so. So instead we got to do close all, and then we get that nice little show there. All right, so let's talk some numbers now and some of the specs here. So here basically there's only 2 trim levels of the Model X. There's the base, I guess, and the Plaid. So unlike the Y, they don't distinguish between like a standard range and a long range. It's just the Model X and the Model X Plaid. So the Model X, which is what we're in here, you do have some of these different options, like the yoke, the seating configuration and stuff. And then there's also the color options. And the cool thing is right now, you don't actually have to pay any extra for any of the color options. So if you want to get like one of the newer colors, like the what's it called, ultraviolet red, or the new gray that they've got, you don't have to pay the extra price for it, and it keeps you below the threshold for the tax incentive. So that's all cool. So this is $79,999, which is basically $10 below that limit to be able to keep you eligible for that. And then in some states, like New Jersey, there's no sales tax on EVs, so you're kind of saving there too. And then other states like Colorado, there are additional state-level incentives that actually bring the cost down even more. So that's why this is becoming a much more popular car now. I mean, for me, like, we never really even considered the X because generally, like, the price was much higher and kind of like pushing the $100,000 range in a lot of cases. And now with the lower price and those incentives and everything, it's much more reasonable and competitive. So when we initially got like the Y, part of the reason we did that was, we knew that we could make it work for us, and just didn't think that the extra cost was going to be worth it. But now, with not so much of a difference here, and all of this extra space, it almost does make a little bit more sense for us. And basically, we'd be cross-shopping this with our Rivian R1S that we have on order that we haven't taken delivery or anything yet, so we could still get out of. And before, like, those were almost exactly comparable in terms of price, and the R1S made more sense because it's a bigger car and fits our family a little bit better. But now this is a bit more competitive just in terms of pricing and everything. So we'll have to see. Like, this may be something that we change our mind on, and we're kind of thinking about it. So let me know in the comments below if you think we should pull the cord and switch over to this. But yeah, so this long range one, basically this is no slouch at all. You're going to get 348 miles of range in here, and performance-wise, there's 670 horsepower available, and you can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds. So it's not like you're missing out a lot by not getting the Plaid. But if you do want to upgrade to that, you get almost double the horsepower. Maybe not quite double, like 1.5. So 1,020 horsepower. You can go 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and not losing very much in range. You're still going to get 333 miles of range. Now, that's the EPA rated range that Tesla uses, and it's always a bit optimistic. But, you probably, that's around like what they claim for the Model Y, and generally I get like 280 to 300 maybe, depending on how conservatively I'm driving. And so, probably expect something similar here. And the other stat that they like to claim here is it's a 9.9 second quarter mile time, so it gets you just under 10 seconds. That matters to you at all. There are also 92 cubic feet of storage available in here. I believe that's with both rows in the back down, and this is capable of towing up to 5,000 pounds. You can also go from the 20-inch wheels, which are included, or update to the 21-inch wheels. I don't really know why you would, when it's going to make the ride quality worse, and especially here in the East Coast where we've got so many giant potholes and the roads are terrible. I don't think there's really any reason to do that, plus you're going to sacrifice on range. So I would just stick with the 20-inch ones and be happy with that. And then basically the big options that you've got here are the seating. So 6 seats will actually set you back 6,500. I missed the 500 before. And the 7-seat option is $3,500. So interestingly, you're paying an extra $3,000 to get those one less seat, but to have those nicer captain's chairs in the second row here, which for a family of 5 like us would actually make the most sense because it's easier to get the kids in and out and deal with the car seats and everything. So that's probably what we would end up doing. All right, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about this screen thing. Cameras are really nice on here. I think because of the bigger screen and everything, makes it look nicer than it does on my Y. But like this thing of having to shift the direction here on the screen is a little bit odd, and I guess something to get used to. But unlike the turn signals, I feel like you get used to that pretty quickly. But yeah, so over here we've got a little bit nicer version of like the cup holders and stuff. Interesting. So it's kind of like a two-phase thing here. So you can have this wood panel. I'm not sure how I like this wood, by the way, but I guess you could always put a wrap or something. I'm sure my friends at Vion make something to change this. I think there's also like a carbon fiber option that looks a little bit nicer. This feels a little bit, I don't know, like 1980s car to me. But yeah, so you have that completely closed, or you can push it this one level to get to your cup holders, or you can open it all the way, and then you can actually slide the cup holders here all the way out of the way too. You've got this tray that moves, so a lot of different like configuration options here for the storage. Then you've got this. No, not as big as you would think, I guess, because this front one takes up more space, but you got this other section here. All right, and now let's just see kind of how this drives here. I mean, I'm not going to go to like full speed or anything, but just do acceleration. Oh yeah, that pulls pretty well. All right, that definitely feel the faster acceleration in the Y for sure in here. It's not like a massive difference or anything like that. I think if you really care that much about the acceleration, just get the acceleration boost on the Model Y or get the performance version. But I mean, this is basically 1 second faster 0 to 60 than the Y, so like you can notice it a little bit, but it's not going to affect your normal use of this car much at all. And yeah, I mean, like handling and everything is really nice in here. This honestly doesn't feel like a big SUV or anything like that. Like I don't feel any real kind of body roll or anything in here. Let's take this. Yeah, no, I mean the air suspension in here keeps this thing really well planted. No roll like we feel in our larger SUV. This feels to me a lot like the Rivian R1S in terms of like the handling and driving performance. Let's see, yeah. Pretty well connected. There's like a little bit of play here in the wheel, and you can definitely feel like the You can feel that, this is like a drive-by-wire, not super connected to the wheel system. There's not a lot of like feedback you're getting directly from the road or the wheels or anything. But it's fine. Like, this isn't really meant for, performance driving, I would say. But like, as a, family errand runner and kid hauler, the hockey dad car, this feels great. Like, it feels more performancy than pretty much any other like big SUV out there. It can fit 7 kids back here, so it can fit all 3 kids going to their practice plus a couple of friends to take to pizza afterward or something. And we're going to be comfortable in here, and I'm going to have a little bit of fun driving it. So I think that's kind of the best way I can summarize this. To be honest, it's more fun than like a lot of the competition would be, and you're not getting like every luxury option like you might get in a Mercedes or BMW or something. But you're getting like a pretty fun to drive car, and you're getting an EV that you're not going to have to make a whole lot of sacrifices with in terms of your like normal life. With the Tesla supercharging network, you're not going to have to worry about the charging when you go on a road trip. For the few times a year that you're going to do that, the performance and everything in here is good enough that you're not going to have a hard time getting through the snow, going on family ski trips or anything like that. And with the with autopilot, with like the air suspension and everything, it's going to be really comfortable in here, taking some of those longer trips. These seats are incredibly comfortable. I really like the ventilation on here. It's nice to have like massaging seats to compete with some of the other cars in this range, but it's not a deal breaker or anything like that. So yeah, I think overall, this is certainly appealing, and I understand why this has been pretty popular, and also understand why the price when this was closer to like 6-digit car kept a lot of people away, and we're driving more people to the Model Y. But with the prices now, I think this makes a lot more sense, and I don't know. We'll have to see. Like, I'm even more convinced about this after driving it now than when I was reading about it on paper or anything. So let's maybe see where things go with this, and let me know what you think. And I've just got to say that with this dumb screen thing, I almost just smashed this into, I don't know if it's somebody else's car here or another car from this dealership. So not loving that right now, and I don't know. I really don't get why they needed to do that, but it is what it is, and at least that I could see you getting a little bit more used to than the turn signals. And I almost missed this with the enormous screen that you've got here. I think one of the coolest things Tesla does is these window shades. So they kind of fold up here completely out of the way. You don't even notice that they're there. And then when you do need them, you just flip it down. This is magnetized here. Oh, this little like peg kind of pops out to clip it in. And then you can either just use this little partial one if you've got like the world's smallest sun to block, or kind of flip this other part down, and that gives you a little bit more. And then you've still got your mirror and everything under here. So that's quite cool. And then when you don't need it, you just flip it away there, and it clips back in, and it's completely out of the way, and then you never notice it. I think this is really kind of one of the showpieces of this car, plus of course like the Falcon Wing doors. All right, awesome. I just realized I think this is the first time I'm seeing the Ultra Red here in person, and it is absolutely beautiful. I don't normally like red, but this is such a cool standout color, especially for no extra cost right now. I think this might be the option to go for. All right, so I'm back here in the Model Y now, and it was a great experience. I love the way that Tesla does like pretty much all of this stuff. Like the buying process is just no pressure at all. Everything's online. Like, you just don't get any of the downsides of like the traditional dealership model, and you get all the benefits of just going direct to consumers. So even here for like the test drive, you show up, you tell them what you want. They like scan your driver's license and then answer any questions you have and just let you go by yourself, which is awesome. And then I thought afterward, like maybe they would put, at least sort of the light sell on me to try to get something ordered. And no, they just wanted to know if I had any questions and made sure I was clear on like what I would need to do to order, but no pressure or anything like that at all. So I don't know. I love it. I wish every car company was like that. It is, I think, one of the absolute biggest advantages of Tesla, regardless of sort of what you think about everything else that they do. So that was really cool, and really enjoyed the time in the Model X. I think just really nice, compelling car, kind of in vein with everything Tesla does. Like, not getting a lot of bells and whistles, or even necessarily like all of the luxury or performance features that you might get kind of in other competitors, somewhat in that price range. But you are getting just a really solid car that gives you like the things that you probably care most about, with space and decent performance, and the just absolute industry leading charging infrastructure. So like the things that are actually going to make the biggest impact on your daily life are all there, and I think stack up really well, and in a lot of cases better than some of the competitors. So that's sort of like I think what you end up getting with the Model X, and especially with the price drops and stuff, what's making it most compelling right now. With that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you found this look at the Model X in comparison with the Y and some of the other competitors out there interesting. If so, definitely do give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, do that. And with that, thanks for watching. I'll see you out there on the road.